So in 2021, without anybody at all even knowing that the Jewish Sanhedrin in Israel did proclaim the Jewish Messiah, Ezekiel, son of David, the child, to be here on earth and being celebrated as the anointed one. So this is prophesied, and during the early 2000s, Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri, in his 108th year of life, passed an encrypted note with Hebrew words. And the words in the note, the first letter of each of those Hebrew words, spelled out a name, the name of the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus, proclaimed by Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri in his 108th year of life. On April 4th, 2021, in Israel, the anointed, the Messiah, was declared in Israel. The Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri, on his deathbed, proclaimed the Jews' anointed, the Messiah. He encrypted into a note the name of the Messiah.
You know, we're living in prophetic times, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is a great evidence of it. Let me tell you about this guy. Yitzhak Kaduri is his name, 108 when he died. 300,000 people came to his funeral. The president of Israel gave the eulogy. They shut the streets of Jerusalem down for almost 2 days because of the hundreds of thousands of people there at his funeral.
And where they couldn't all be in one place. What, they just in all the streets?
They were on balconies,
Just
on rooftops, everywhere they could get.
To pay tribute to this rabbi.
Because he was the most venerated rabbi in Israel's modern history. He was there before Israel was ever a nation. He was in the land, and then he's been through all of the wars: World War I, World War II, 1948, the birth of Israel. Every war that's been fought, very closely connected to Israeli political figures: Ariel Sharon, Benjamin Netanyahu. In fact, he actually campaigned for Benjamin Netanyahu, so he was close to these guys. So this is not just some little obscure rabbi tucked away in the bowels of Jerusalem somewhere. But this guy, I like to call him the Billy Graham of the Jews in Israel.
Yeah,
because this, when Orthodox Jews in Israel see this book and see that picture, immediately they know who he is. In the same way, if we had a book with Billy Graham's picture on it or Pat Boone's picture on it.
Yeah.
Everybody would know who it is.
A little higher than that.
Okay then. Or Shirley Boone's picture on it.
I tell you, it may not be a stretch to say he was almost like the Pope of the Jews.
Well, yes, any of those examples are apropos because...
The leading religious figure.
Exactly. Now, here's what's so astounding about this story. He passed away in January of 2006, but just a few months prior, in October and November of 2005, several astounding things happened. He said 2 shocking things. On the evening of Yom Kippur in his synagogue, and he had a yeshiva, which, as you know, is the Hebrew word for a seminary, a rabbinical training school.
And this is the Day of Atonement.
Yes, the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, in his synagogue service, he said 2 shocking things. He said, first of all, I have met Messiah, I have seen Messiah, and I know who he is, and I know his name, and I'm going to leave his name in a note to be opened 1 year after my death. Now, he said that just a few weeks, really, 10 or 12 weeks before he died, but he couldn't have known he was going to die in a few weeks. But the second shocking thing he said was that I also know, it has been revealed to me, that Messiah will come after Ariel Sharon dies.
Who'd been in a coma for several years.
Well, not at the time he spoke that. At the time he spoke that, in October of 2005, Ariel Sharon was still alive and was the 11th prime minister of Israel.
He hadn't had his stroke yet.
But watch this. In just a few weeks after Kaduri spoke those words, Ariel Sharon, in early January 2006, I think it was January the 6th, he had a massive stroke and went into a coma that would last 8 years.
Yeah.
He finally passed away in January of 2014. But so he went into a coma January 6th of 2008. January 23rd of 2008, Yitzhak Kaduri died.
Yeah.
So the same month,
Wow.
Sharon goes into a coma.
But he left the word.
Kaduri dies, but he left the word.
That the Messiah would not be revealed till after Sharon died.
Messiah would not come until after Sharon died. So, you know, a lot of people have asked, well, does that mean that the Messiah is going to come, you know, in days or months after? Well, he didn't say that, but what he said was, Messiah will not come until Ariel Sharon passes away. And again, when he spoke that, Sharon was still alive and well and the prime minister.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when he went into the coma, Kaduri could not have known that coma would last 8 years.
No. Which was really amazing because most people, I mean, that's so unusual for a man to lie in that state for so long.
Very. Dies in 2006. But remember, he had said to his congregation and to the students in his yeshiva that I know who Messiah is, I've met him, I'm putting his name in a note. So 1 year later, 2007, on Kaduri.net, his ministry organization's big website, the note was posted. It was in Hebrew, of course. Israel Today ran a story on it and took a screen capture of the note and put it all over the internet. News First Class, which is a Hebrew-only language big news organization out of Jerusalem, they ran a story on it. The note was kind of encrypted, and he was famous for encrypting his notes, but his note was encrypted with instructions on how to decrypt the note. But you've got to remember now, Orthodox Jew, Orthodox Jewish organization and ministry, so here's this note on the website, but when it was encrypted,
May I interject
decrypted.
just one
Yes.
second? Encrypted means, if people don't know what that means, it's almost like a puzzle, but you're told how to solve the puzzle.
Exactly. In fact, here's what it said. Let me just tell you. I'm going to speak it in English, but in Hebrew it said, "He shall lead his people and prove that the word and the law are valid." Now that's the sentence he left. And people looked at that. Oh, it says concerning the letters of his name. He shall lead his people and prove that the word and law are valid. So when people looked at that, they said, okay, well, that sounds like something about Messiah, but that's not the name. But then they looked at what he said, concerning the letter abbreviation of his name, comma, and then the rest of it. The rest of those words, in English, it's a bunch of words, but in Hebrew, it's only 6 words. So they took the first letter of each of those 6 words, the letter abbreviation, and it's spelled Yehoshua.
Yeah. Which is
Which
Jesus.
is Jesus, which is the Hebrew word, for Yeshua or Jesus.
Yes.
Now, when they decrypted that and saw that, his organization took the note down. Because, you know, the Orthodox Jewish message basically is based on the foundation that Jesus is not the Messiah. So when they saw that their Billy Graham said that Jesus is the Messiah, you know, Yehoshua, they took the note down and ultimately destroyed the note. But it had already been screen captured and had been reported upon.
The Hebrew Gematria letter value of Yitzhak is 208. Kaduri has a Hebrew letter value of 240. The sum total of 240 and 208 is 448, having a digital root of 7. Righteousness. Yitzhak Kaduri died at the age of 108. The perimeter of the Israel star is 108. The perimeter of each 666 unit segment is 108. This is 541. 541 units making up the 10th star number, 541, which is the Gematria sum total letter value of the name Israel. The perimeter of the Genesis triangle 216 is 2 times 108, and the perimeter of the Wisdom star is 324, which is 3 times 108. (3,996) units, embracing the 541 units that make up the Israel star, also the Gematria letter value of the name Israel. 108 unit perimeter depicted here in red. In Hebrew, Proverbs 3:19, sum total to Proverbs 9:10, has a sum total Hebrew Gematria letter value of 3,996. Yesterday on April 9th, the headline, Fox 10, enough prayers, time for some action. Biden introduces the executive orders on gun control. Okay, all this gun control, it seems to be a little out of touch, to say the least, because the bad guys just break into your house and take your guns. They don't go through any type of process. Besides that, they'll just take your gun. So I know that most people understand that. And most importantly, the whole reason I'm making this video, he says enough prayers. So going it without God, that's not good. That's not good at all. It's very unnatural for a mother to give up a child, or even a father would, not give up their child. But right now, the conditions are so bad in Honduras that families will give up their children. A very, very unnatural thing. I have to question that. A mother giving up a child for any reason. It seems like that's happening now, and there's a lot of sexual abuse happening in these places, as well as the cartels trafficking these babies. So this is no coincidence